Welcome back to another week of Limbus Company, new identity overview, and patch note analysis. This week, we've got the Canto 4 update coming out, and alongside it, we've actually been given the breakdowns to the two identities that are going to be coming with the update, Dead Rabbit's boss Meursault, and Wuthering Heights Chief Butler Otis. So let's just get straight into them, starting of course with the 2-star, Dead Rabbit's boss Meursault. Dead Rabbit's boss Meursault is a 2-star. It's a Rupture ID. It doesn't have anything too special going on, but it seems to just be kind of like a solid Rupture ID, a little bit of offense down stuff going on. It's not the first Rupture ID Meursault has technically, because Warp Meursault is, Rupture Charge. Although this one's probably going to be a lot better if you're actually running a Rupture team, unless you're trying to go for, like, Gregor AEDD shenanigans, that sort of thing, Thunder Branch stuff. But let's just get into his actual skills, shall we? Starting off with his skill 1, Bat Strike. 1 coin, Lust, Blunt Attack. Target has X plus Rupture, gain coin power, and on hit, inflict Rupture. Pretty standard skill 1. No Rupture count on a skill 1 isn't great, but the 1 coin, that part of it means that it won't reduce Rupture count too much. And like with Thunder Branch, it'll be Rupture neutral at least, which is something, but doesn't seem like anything too special. Then the skill 2, Smackdown, 2 coin Pierce Wrath attack. If the target has X plus Rupture, gain coin power, once again. And on Clash Win, inflict Rupture count. This is the only Rupture count this unit has entirely, which means might not be great for Rupture teams. Most really good Rupture IDs have like Rupture count on at least a couple skills, but if it's only a skill 2, and he doesn't really have any egos to bolster that, maybe he'll be good as like a Rupture Burster. But usually you don't need that as much as you want people who can just keep on building up Rupture count. But yeah, anyways, looking at it, on hit, inflict Rupture, and if the target has X plus Rupture, inflict offense level down. This is where the offense level down part comes in. A little bit of debuffy things going on in the process. It's something. But then the skill 3, Relentless, is a 4 coin Blunt Gluttony attack. Now, 4 coin skills are always nice on Meursault. It means he could use Regret in order to make this even more powerful. But let's see. On use, target has X plus Rupture, gain Clash power, and if target has X plus plus Rupture, gain coin power. Once again, all 3 of his skills have target a certain amount of Rupture, gain coin power. It'll probably be different Rupture for each skill, but it means he'll have a decent chance to get Clash power, maybe, or coin power. It means that chances are the skill 3 is going to have it's going to be like a +1 or a +2 by base, and you really need to have that Rupture for it to do much of anything, and you really need to have Regret for it to really do much of anything. Clash Win, inflict offense level down, and on hit with the 4th coin, inflict Rupture, and if the target has X plus Rupture, inflict offense level down next turn. Very interesting for a Rupture ID to have a 4 coin skill that only has Rupture on a single coin here. This means even if you're running Thunder Branch, it's still going to be like a net loss of 3 Rupture count if you use a skill like this. It is Gluttony, so you can like synergize with like triggering like passives, like, getting the passive from like Talisman Sinclair up, something like that. Gluttony Resonance in general is needed for like some of like the 7 ID passives, I think. I don't know, it seems a little strange. He doesn't really have a great Rupture count, economy going in here. I guess it really depends on how much Rupture count he inflicts if he wins the Clash with the skill 2. If it's like inflict 3 Rupture count, I could see it being nice, go all into the skill 2. Otherwise, I don't know, it seems kind of overshadowed by a lot of other options. Especially funny given how many really strong 2-stars there are for Rupture already. Talisman, Sinclair, 7 Heathcliff, Lantern Dawn, all 2-stars, but are super good for Rupture. Moving on to the defensive skill, Counter. On hit, inflict Rupture. It's a 1 coin Rupture. It's a 1 coin Blunt counter. Fun thing about this is actually Project Moon originally posted this overview of the new ID without indicating what the damage type of the counter was. So they reposted it, but they included Blunt, so that's nice. They definitely did that a lot in the past, just including counters but not showing damage types. It's nice that they are now, because it was kind of strange that it didn't. Anyways, the passive, Buy Time, gain Clash power against targets with Rupture and against targets with X plus Rupture count. more clash power from run-up stuff. This is the kind of thing you see a lot on certain Meursault IDs. Like, I'm thinking of, like, Rose Spanner especially. Like, a lot of it's like, oh yeah, gain clash power if target a certain amount of tremor, stuff like that. It's just a way to make him potentially win clashes, since his whole thing is that usually he's not great at winning clashes. And then his support passive, My Responsibility. When one ally with the fastest speed hits an enemy with X plus Rupture, inflict offense level down. Yeah, that's all for this identity. Now, talking about the actual implication of this ID, Dead Rabbit's boss. This is a 2-star that seems to be the boss of Heathcliff Syndicate. If the boss of the Syndicate is only a 2-star, that means he's probably not going to be a very notable character. I think he's going to be a named character most likely. I think pretty much every ID we're going to get from actual Canto 6 is likely going to be named characters, because I think there's going to be a lot of named characters, right? Just based on Wuthering Heights as a whole. We'll have to see, though, but yeah. It seems like the Dead Rabbits is the syndicate that Heathcliff used to belong to. You can see them wearing, like, the weird little leather masks in the trailer. And they're probably just going to be, like, one of the first enemies we encounter. Maybe they'll be, like, outside of the manor, maybe they'll be inside the manor a little bit hired to, you know, deal with us by Kathy or some other people at Wuthering Heights. I don't know the specifics, but this will probably be a named guy, especially with, like, the funny pocket watch, which is a reoccurring thing from Project Moon, isn't it? But yeah, that is all for the 2-star ID. So let's move on to the 3-star, shall we? That, of course, being Wuthering Heights' Chief Butler, Otis. Wuthering Heights Chief Butler Otis. Another 3-star for Otis, super good. The only 3-star that you can actually get from the actual normal extractions right now is still 7 Otis, since, you know, Molar you need to get from the dispenser as soon as the season starts. And you can only get Magic Bullet during Wolverines Night, so more Otis IDs are definitely needed still. It's a sinking ID. Once again, she technically has a sinking ID already through G-Corp, but G-Corp only is sinking on the skill 3 and doesn't really count as a sinking ID. That's really only a sinking ID if you really need it. She also does have Sun Shower, though, which doesn't inflict sinking, so, you know, some synergy there, potentially. I don't know. But yeah, it's a sinking ID, it's blunt focus, of course. It's got a very interesting, unique status effect called Echoes of the Manor, which, you know, we'll get to when we get to. But let's just get started. Skill 1, Knocking, is a 2-coin blunt pride attack. On use, if the target has a certain amount of sinking, gain coin power. Project Moon really loves this as of late, really. I say as of late, but it's really been a while. Just gaining coin power, gaining clash power, gaining base power if the target has a certain amount of the respective status effect. It's kind of repetitive, I don't know. Second coin from this inflicts sinking, nothing too special. Skill 2, Dusting, 3-coin blunt gloom attack. If the target has a certain amount of sinking, gain coin power once again. Clash Win inflicts sinking count. So it's going to be one of those skills you're really going to want to clash with in order to get some sinking off. It's a 3 coin, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a 3 sinking count on Clash Win, just to try and make up for it. And the second and third coins in this one also inflict a little bit of sinking potency. But then the skill 3, As Mistress Commands, 4-coin Lust Blunt skill. Very interesting name, of course, Mistress referring to Kathy, most likely. On use, target has a certain amount of sinking, gain coin power, once again. Clash Win, inflict sinking count, once again, similar to skill 2, you're going to really want to clash with it. It's similar to something like, kind of like how, like, 7, Faust's only gets Rupture count if she wins Clash of the skill 2, skill 3. You're going to want to make sure you clash with this unit to get the sinking count up. I don't think any of the other sinking IDs rely on Clash Win to inflict sinking, so you can kind of leave the clashing to Otis a lot of the time if need be. But then you can see the first 3 coins don't have any effects at all, but then the 4th coin, on hit, inflicts Echoes of the Manor next turn. Now, if we look at what Echoes of the Manor does, experts have a chance to gain additional sinking count when gains sinking potency or count from skill or coin effects. Now, we don't know exactly how big of an effect it is. It's really hard to tell is the thing. Like, is it going to be like a 50% chance to gain 1 sinking count when gaining sinking? That'd be pretty powerful. Is it going to be worse than that? The numbers up there are really going to change how good that effect is. But that's not all there is. Units with SP change their panic type to Echoes of the Manor. When the unit panics, inflict Echoes of the Manor to 2 random other allies of this unit. So this is really cool. This means that singing will kind of Echoes of the Manor will kind of spread between enemies when you get one with Echoes of the Manor to negative 45 sanity, right? So it kind of spreads among it, kind of resets it. It says at the bottom, this effect is not cumulative. Instead, it'll replace the current value with the inflicted value. What this means is, say, Otis' skill 3 maybe will inflict 3 Echoes of the Manor. It'll go down by 1 each turn, and when it hits 0, it goes away. However, if you're at, say, 3 Echoes of the Manor, and you get hit by another skill 3, you get another 3 Echoes of the Manor. Instead of adding that up, it just resets it back to 3 Echoes of the Manor. So it doesn't stack, it just gets set to the most recently inflicted value. Which makes sense for a status effect like this. Wonder if it'll count as unique syncing. It doesn't say so, but I don't know, it might. But also, if units without SP instead have a lower chance to flip heads, this is like a way to actually change the chances of SP-less units' coin rolls. Now, of course, this is going to be really bad against abnormalities who want negative coin rolls, but again, the abnormalities don't want positive. You can actually effectively reduce their chances of rolling heads, which is super good. Most abnormalities do want to roll heads for their coins. There are some stuff that has, negative coins, but it's usually positive coins. And of course, reduce the turn end goes down by 1 at turn end. Simple enough. And there's a little asterisk at the end here. This was added in this. They actually updated this image. Project Moon deleted the previous tweet and re-added it. Except the only difference was it included this little asterisk thing at the bottom. Apply the units without SP conditional to certain enemies that have SP but can't change their panic types. I assume this means stuff like bosses that have important panic types. That's my best guess. Or thinking of something like, Sunshower Dogback is a great example because her sanity mechanics are kind of crucial to the fight. Maybe you can't change her sanity, which makes a lot of sense. Probably folks encounter enemies you might not be able to do stuff like that. I don't know for sure. That's my best guess though for why you can't do some things. Anyways, onto the evade stuff. Insolent Fool, funny name for an evade. It's a gloom evasion, and on evade inflicts a little bit of sync potency. Yeah, maybe a good evade, who knows. Evasions are always nice. There's a lot of times where you really need evasion, especially in stuff like Railway 3, which will still be able to done, I suppose. I doubt this unit will be particularly great for Railway 3, but maybe. I don't actually know. It's more syncing. That's always good. But yeah, the passive, the Mistress's Voice. Once again, referring to Kathy. When clashing against targets with less than 0 SP, gain clash power and deal more damage. Nice stuff. Of course, it says less than 0 SP, so enemies without SP or at 0 SP it doesn't affect. Which makes sense. Deal more damage against targets with Echoes of the Manor, and when winning a clash without losing a single coin, heal SP. Or if you're already at max SP, gain offense level next turn. This is a cool little effect. It benefits you for winning every clash, winning clashes flawlessly, you could say. Just get a little SP or offense level next turn from that, which is nice. And then the support passive, Butler Training. When out of the most SP gains clash power when clashing against targets with less than X SP. I'm surprised it's not less than 0 SP again. Maybe it will be, but they're just hiding it, but I don't know, maybe it'll be less than, negative 30 SP or something. But yeah, that's all for this unit. Doing some really interesting stuff. This is a really interesting, unique status effect. Echoes of the Manor is just kind of spreading. I think it's, really the first ID that I feel specifically specializes in normal encounters, right? She doesn't want to be... Most identities and stuff you really want in focus encounters, because then you can actually choose their gimmick and stuff. But she seems to be really good about just going through, a group of, enemies, getting their SP low, Echoes of the Manor, spreading them among them. But yeah, she seems super cool. I'm excited. More singing support is always nice. Not too much singing count. Not that you need a lot of singing count when you've got, Corroded Rhyme Shank. And... Sinking, she doesn't do a lot of physical damage with her sinking stuff, but she gains damage against, enemies with Echoes of the Manor and stuff like that. Oh yeah, also, I didn't actually look at it. The skill 3 also inflicts gloom affinity damage equal to sinking potency if you use it when the target already has Echoes of Manor. So that's nice, kind of like a minor sinking burst type thing, it seems. But yeah, that is all for the new IDs. I'm looking forward to these a lot. Chances are they're going to be really good for the actual Kanto. There's probably going to be a lot of enemies weak to blunt, which makes sense since the next XP Luxcavation is going to be weak to blunt following the pattern. It makes sense it's going to be a fairly blunt focused Kanto. But yeah, Now, moving on to the actual patch notes themselves. March 28th scheduled update notice. So, of course, starting out, because it's a new season starting, maintenance lasts for 6 hours this time. So make sure that you've done everything you want to do before the day actually refreshes. When the day refreshes, that's the time when maintenance starts, and it goes until normal time. Of course, I'll tell you this now, the morning of or the day before or something, consider doing a Mirror Dungeon 3 hard run, and just not claiming the rewards so you can claim them when the season starts, if you want to just start out with basically the entirety of the Battle Pass. Since it'll only be 20 levels to start. New content, new IDs, of course. About the new season, there's a little guide on it if you really need to, you know. They added this last week if you want to know a lot of the details, but I'll just kind of go over it briefly here, so I'll only go over it briefly. Ego Shard carryover, you get all your resources are halved as per usual. The half that gets lost is converted to thread. Main story and Battle Pass updates. We get Part 1 of the main story, aka the first third, or like the first half of the non-dungeon stuff, most likely, and Season 4 unlocked, specifically the first 20 levels of the new Battle Pass. Limbus Pass can no longer be purchased directly with cash, instead it's paid lunacy only. However, if you want to just purchase the pass normally and you don't want to spend more than that, you can purchase 1300 lunacy for the same price as the Battle Pass, so it's basically unchanged. This just adds more variety. If you want to just purchase the Battle Pass, you don't want paid lunacy beyond that, you can do that. Or if you want to get like, you know, like $20 of paid lunacy or something, then you can get the Battle Pass and have this additional to spare, making it basically cheaper, but giving you the options either way, which is a super nice way to go about doing it. New announcer added. They're adding the Samjo announcer to the dispenser. You're going to need to purchase him with paid lunacy, unfortunately, most likely. Oh well, that's fine. And the Yuri announcer is getting moved from Season 3 to Standard Fare, just because they're going to put random announcers into Standard Fare now. Identity cap increases to 45 with this update. However, only if you've cleared Kanto 5. If you haven't cleared Kanto 5, the cap will still be level 40. And there's a little note here, surplus XP will be lost. You can actually feed people at level 40 XP tickets even if you haven't cleared Kanto 5 yet, but it just gets lost. It doesn't get carried over or anything. You just make sure you're careful of that if you haven't cleared Kanto 5 already. You can just effectively lose out on XP, I guess, if you're not careful and just use like a bunch of XP tickets on someone for no reason. XP Luxation will be added with part 3 of the update. This will be number 6, and of course it'll probably be Blunt Week. We'll have to see who it is exactly. Love to see. It'll just probably be like some random enemies of the Kanto. We'll see. Season 4 extraction is no longer available. Holiday Otis and the Blade Lineage event IDs will no longer be extractable, and they won't be dispensable until next season. So make sure that you get them now within the next couple days if you want them. Otherwise you'll have to go another 3-4 months before you can. Now removed from the dispenser will be the Season 3 IDs. All the Season 3 IDs, also Garden of Thorns Gregor, will no longer be dispensable. However, you still can get them in the gacha, but if you want to get them consistently, just dispense them now beforehand, and you'll be set. Following will be added to the Season 4 dispenser, though, is all the Season 3 pass egos. If you want any of the Season 3 pass egos and you either didn't get to that level or didn't purchase the pack, you'll be able to get that with shards as soon as the new season starts. And all the Season 2 identities are going to be added to the dispenser as well. Stuff like Spice Bush, Sun Shower, K-Corp Hong Lu, Rose Banner Rodion, and all the 2 stars. And all the Season 2 event stuff is also getting added to the dispenser too, if you want to get that stuff finally. All the Molar IDs, notably. And I guess the soda stuff too, but they're not great. So, a bunch of other random things. UI UX renew and overhaul for the PAX shop, aka like the purchasing lunacy. They're changing how that's going to look. Battle Pass UI is being changed too. Extraction cutscene revisit function added. So now you can actually rewatch the cutscenes that you watch when you extract identities and stuff. Cool enough. Navigation shortcut, the character growth materials added, or it will be added in, you know, several weeks. I don't know why they're mentioning it now if they're not adding it, but there's just going to be shortcuts to get around easier when you need to get materials and stuff. Stage info pop-up window renewal. So now when you're actually going into a main story stage, it'll tell you what damage types will be best. Which is nice, just so you can know, just so you can build around it beforehand, right? Instead of needing to go into it first. Manners and Takeout Deco UI overhaul, Mirrodun 4 preview will be in the future. Major changes. Loading screen illustration image load improved, so now you can actually see identity update story images in the loading screen if that's the last thing you've done. more options. That's cool. Main story encounter info changed. What I just mentioned before, you know, showing you what, you know, the damage type will be. Team loadout change function added in story dungeon. So now in story dungeons, you can actually change your team at the save points, which is super good. I think that was a big issue with the Kanto 5 dungeon, was some people were getting stuck because they brought in bad IDs and just couldn't clear the boss. So now you can actually just change your IDs and stuff. If you know, were like, yeah, I'll be funny and bring all base stuff, and you get, you know, stuck because of that. Low morale panic UI improved. We don't know exactly how they've been improved, but interesting to see how they'll change that. A lot of bug fixing stuff. A lot of times they're fixing a lot of like phrasing things, some Japanese only fixes, stuff like that. And of course, 800 lunacy, 500 for the air, and 300 for the normal update. So a little bit of lunacy, so you can get your pulls for Butler Otis sooner rather than later. But yeah, that is all for the patch notes, and that's all for this video entirely. Looking forward to the Season 4 and Kanto 6 a lot. As soon as the update comes out, I won't stream, but I will post my actual, you know, playthrough of the update, like, mornings, I guess. But otherwise, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!